I was presented this award that I had missed when I was away on vacation. So, in our office, we had like a communal area where we had couches and chairs. So when I got back, we were all standing in that space, and they, gave me a warm welcome when I got back and presented me the award. And when, it calmed down and we were just kind of chit chatting in our own spaces, the other black girl in the office, she stated this loud that made everybody kind of come back into one conversation and stated, well, I don't need an award to know that I'm doing a good job. Like, I don't need to be recognized for that. And everybody was just kind of like, oh, and let me also state that in that space, it was just her and I. We were the only two black women. Everybody else was white. So it got, of course, it turned extremely awkward. And she was just like, yeah, we all do good work. I just don't need to be recognized for anything. And that was the instance that she did in front of everybody, right? But there have been so many other times where she had kind of, wanted to uplift herself up and would put me down in the same space, right? And she would just make little comments like, well, I don't know why everybody come talk to you. I have stuff to say too, or I don't need nobody to talk to me in this office, because my office was literally right in the front. Receptionist desk, my office, another office, and hers was around the corner. So she just couldn't understand why everybody would talk to me, but my office was right there. I was right in the front.
And maybe
But
because
not
her
only
attitude
that,
was bad.
and I'm about to touch on that as well. She also just wasn't nice. Like, she was kind of like a mean girl to everybody, to white people, black people. And she wasn't welcoming. She would always have attitudes, like in our staff meetings and things like that. Even my supervisor at the time, they bumped heads all the time. All the time. And my supervisor, me and her, we were pretty close, so it drove a wedge there. But what was interesting is I would always empower even the black girl on how to come to the supervisor, because I did have a stronger relationship with her. So I tried to coach her through that, right? Well, maybe you should take it from this lens, or maybe you should address it this way, right? But she would always give the supervisor attitude. And let me just state, the supervisor, I'm pretty sure she was pretty anti-black, right? But because I had a good attitude, she favored my personality. I won't say she favored who I was as a black woman, but she just enjoyed Lydia's personality. She enjoyed who I was. She didn't enjoy black people, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like even that wedge that the other black girl and my supervisor had, it was because of my supervisor's view on black people, right? So the girl having issues with my supervisor, I could understand why, because my supervisor did not treat her well either. So both of them created a negative dynamic with each other. But going back to the award thing, when she did that in front of people, I have to be so transparent. My feelings were so crushed.
Right.
They were so hurt. I'm a
Right.
sensitive girl anyway. So my feelings were so hurt. I remember going into my office after that happened, and I did cry. I cried. Because I could not understand why she did that. Number one, why she did it, but why she did it in front of white people. Because it further proved, honestly, the stereotypes. It proved the point. Like, it literally proved everything that they have tried years and years and years. And going back to your comment earlier, Erin, about slavery, it proved that theory. Like, it proved that you have caused, or you have, like, given in to the systematic, like, oppression of black women being against each other. That's oppression, right? And she literally fed into that systematic stereotype. So going back to I was just so sad. Like, I literally cried, because I'm just like, I would be so happy for her when anything would happen. And at the time when we worked together, she had gotten proposed to. Her and her husband had bought a house. Good things, so many good things was happening in her life. And when I tell you, I was always the first one to praise her. Like, oh my goodness, I cannot wait, to celebrate you. I can't wait to, I would buy her gifts. Like, I did everything. Like, it was nothing that I did for her to treat me that way. I could not understand it. I couldn't. But I will state this, and I'm a person that, if I'm going to call out something on somebody else, I'm going to call out something on myself as well. So me growing up, I have to be honest. I was a jealous girl. I envied a lot of people. I grew up as a fat girl. I grew up as a dark-skinned girl. I grew up not being the smartest, right? So I envy a lot of my friends who were smarter, who the boys would, go after. Because men didn't go after me. They didn't. Like, the little boys, they didn't go after me in the sandbox. So they didn't. They didn't. So I envy a lot of people growing up. But it wasn't until I came into as a young adult that I said, God, I no longer want to be this way. I don't want to be jealous of anybody, right? So I had to do that internal work for myself, right? And I think that's what's lacking with a lot of black women. It's just literally self-discovery. Do the work to figure out why you act that way, right? I broke it down. I broke myself down, me and God, in therapy. We broke Lydia down. Right? So when that girl treated me like that, I was able to sense that insecurity in her because I've been there before.
Yeah.
I was able to sense that spirit of jealousy in her because I had been there. I know how to call it out because I'm so aware of it. I'm so aware of it that I never want to be there ever again in my life.
God, I love that.
Right? So I it's almost a part of me. I sympathize with her. Even when my feelings was hurt, I sympathize with her because I know how that feels to feel like, oh, well, nobody ever recognized me for my work. Nobody ever sees me. I sympathize with her because I've been there. But at the same time, I couldn't negate my feelings of why would you do that in front of white people? Why would you do that to me when I've always supported you? So it was a whole thing. My feelings were so hurt. But even after that, I never confronted her about it because she wouldn't have gotten it. And it's almost like, I didn't want to waste my time. I didn't want to pour out my feelings for my feelings to, still be hurt or hurt even more. But I pray and I ask God to help me to forgive her so I didn't treat her derogatory in front of the other white people because I didn't want them to see that my feelings was hurt by what she said.
Right.
I didn't want to see that I was treating her different by what she said, right? So I still had to go do the internal work in me for something that she did to me, right? Because I didn't want people to see that. So I didn't really, approach her or say anything. I just did I went in my prayer closet. Me and God handled it. But it just goes to show that competition is a real thing. And Erin knows this because we talk about this in the gym. I'm not a competitive person. Like, I don't care.
Very competitive.
Very. And I have to tell them all the time, like, y'all, it's me versus me in here. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I can't compete against y'all because I'm competing against myself.